your films have always touched on a very crucial, they always have a larger-than-life backdrop. They touch on important aspects of history, and yet your stories are very character-focused and very human story-focused. How do you, what is your process? How do you go about, I'm not asking you about your process, but how do you go about researching these wonderful worlds that you create? I mean, some of them are just so unbelievable. I mean,
when
even
you're making a historical in our country, you have to be very careful. So yes, you need to get your facts right, and that is where my research ends. Because most of it is imagination, most of it is how I see the period. I do go and see the architecture. When I go there, then I start dreaming my own extra pillars and own extra roofs and own extra carpets. So it's done, but it's not really so detailed as a research, because I find research very boring. I, as a filmmaker, I'm set out to make a documentary that I want it to be exact. I want my impressions, childlike impressions, grown-up impressions, heartbroken lovers' impressions. I want all that to come into the film rather than just document it and research. So I start with making a song. When the song falls in place, then I imagine the whole song unfold. Music is a very important part of my films. A lot of people feel that every film doesn't have to have music, which is right. I mean, there are very important socially relevant films that are made. You don't need music, but I need music. I've grown up listening to music, and that's it. So if anything I need to go to inspiration for is music. So music starts, that's my research. Imagination of how that music would happen, of how this woman would look, how will she talk, what is the dialogue, is the dialogue inspiring me, are the dramatic scenes inspiring me. I feel bored about people who say, you know, we did a lot of research and we put it. It's my take on it. And they are right in the way they do it, because that's how it should be done. But I feel I just start taking off. I just start
so all those
floating.
nuances you bring to your stories and contextualize those nuances actually are all out of your imagination.
Yeah, because if it's there real, then people have seen it. People have seen it in a documentary or in a series or something. This is what they've not seen. So what is Devdas like? Obviously, he's a literature character. But what is Bajirao Mastani like? They have not seen Bajirao Mastani. So I can take all the liberty to do what Bajirao, because none of them have seen him actually, because he's 300, 400 years ago. So what do I give them that makes them feel that they are seeing a film that we connect to today? This audience, as you say, has changed. 50 years ago, it would have been a different film if I had made Bajirao or Gangubai. So there is a certain modern approach to the way you make a film. The audience has to connect to it. They have to relate to this historical or a period piece. But even Gangubai, I think it was a film set in the 40s and 50s, but they related to everything. There wasn't something that I went into the exact, because I've lived in the brothels, next to the brothels for 30 years of my life, one lane away from the brothels. So I knew in and out what those lanes looked like, smelled like, what are the faces like. So I had my research, I think, and then the rest was imagination. You can't keep going and trying to copy things and make notes. Making notes bore me completely. I'm sorry I sound like a person who film students should not listen to and should not adhere to my style of filmmaking, guys. But Heeramandi is my biggest project that I've made. It's so huge in scale. I had to do something special because he had commissioned this to me, and therefore we had to do something special to make him proud. And I also made it from deep down. It just naturally came. So I did not have to adapt to for a digital medium, and I think at the end of it you're watching a film or you're watching a series, and it has to be as creative, as intense or interesting or nuanced and new treatment. The director has to give something special, the actors have to give something special. So there is no holding back or trying to think differently for the OTT platform. For me, it's making a film. And I think I've made 10 films in 30 years, and in the last 1.5 years, I think I've ended up making 3 films, because it's 8 episodes, and it's like, what have you put me through, guys? It's like so demanding. It is so difficult, and you have to be so alert, because there are so many tracks, and your narrative skills get very sharpened, because then you're on high alert, and then you realize, God, we've missed that one shot is wrong because it doesn't show that in the other episode. So you're constantly working on the script all the time. So yes, we have to make amends as to the amount of hours we working, double the hours that I do for a film. Far more intense, far more hard work, and all of us are enjoying every minute of it. So I have given my best to this one. And I say that every time I make a film. But truly, truly this time I think I feel from deep within. I never normally talk about my work, but I feel this one is very special. It has come from deep down. And I think my dear Moin Beg, who has come to me with this idea 14 years ago, and every time I would not make the film and go and make Devdas and then go and make Bajirao. And he would say, can you give me my script back? I want it back. I think I'm not going to make it. Give me my script back. And then finally it's gotten made. And yeah, so I think it's, once again, I only make films not with my mind and not with my craft. It's from the heart, it's from the gut. Heeramandi has got a very, very, very special place. For I think I've done things which I am surprising myself. So before I praise myself more and give my award to me of myself, cut it short.
So have we created a series juggernaut here, have we? Wow.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.